Maya Chen had always been good with directions, not just good, unnaturally good. While her friends got lost using GPS, she could navigate Manhattan's labyrinthine subway system with her eyes closed. She knew which car would align with the exit at each station, which transfers would save precious minutes, and somehow, she always caught the express train just as it arrived. Working as a data analyst at a midtown consulting firm, Maya's talent seemed mundane enough. She optimized routes for delivery companies, her algorithms saving corporations millions in fuel costs. But lately, something had been changing. It started 3 weeks ago with the dreams. Ancient stone corridors filled with rushing water, the sound of distant trains that couldn't be trains too rhythmic, too purposeful. In these dreams, she walked through tunnels that stretched beneath the city like arteries beneath skin, following paths that glowed with an inner light. She always woke before reaching whatever destination called to her. Then came the headaches. They struck whenever she descended into the subway, sharp and sudden, accompanied by flashes of images that didn't belong. Marble columns rising from flooded chambers, offerings of bread and wine left on stone altars, crowds of people in ancient dress kneeling before rushing water. Maya tried to ignore it all until the morning she missed her stop on the 6th train. She never missed her stop. Never. But that Tuesday, she found herself riding past Union Square, past Brooklyn Bridge, all the way to the end of the line at Brooklyn Bridge City Hall. The old abandoned platform stretched before her through the train windows, beautiful tile work from a bygone era. Elegant arches designed when the subway was humanity's greatest achievement. "You getting off here?" the conductor asked. But Maya was already moving toward the doors. The platform was empty, except for a maintenance worker in orange coveralls. He looked up as she approached, his weathered face creasing into a knowing smile. "You feel it too, don't you?" he said, setting down his tools. The pull. Maya stopped, her heart racing. "I don't know what you mean." "Sure you do. You've been dreaming about the old ways, seeing things in the tunnels that ain't supposed to be there anymore." He gestured toward the tiled walls. "This station been closed since 1945, but it was built on something much older, much more important." "That's impossible. The subway system was built over the old aqueducts." "Yeah, but before that, there were natural springs, sacred springs. The Lenape knew it, built their settlements around them. Called this place Manhattan, Island of many hills, many waters." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. But there was something else they knew. Someone who lived in the waters beneath. Maya's head throbbed. "I should go." "Name's Eddie," the man continued, ignoring her retreat. "Been working these tunnels 43 years. Seen things that would make your hair curl. But you're different. You're connected." She turned away, but Eddie's voice followed her. "Namaka never left, you know. She just went deeper, waiting." The name hit her like lightning. Namaka. In the dream that came rushing back, she stood before a figure emerging from flowing water, a woman with dark hair that moved like liquid, eyes that held the depths of oceans. The goddess of the sea, but not the Pacific of her Hawaiian origins. Here, she was the deity of flowing water, of underground rivers, of the vast network of tunnels that carried 8 million people through their daily lives. Maya ran, but the dreams intensified. Now she saw the truth of the city's foundation, not just concrete and steel, but layers of faith and forgotten worship. The subway system wasn't merely transportation. It was a vast temple complex. Each station a shrine, each tunnel a pilgrimage route. And at its heart, in chambers flooded with ancient spring water, dwelt a goddess who had been patient for centuries. The revelation came during her morning commute, exactly 1 week later. As the L train screeched into 14th Street Union Square, Maya's vision suddenly expanded. She could see the entire system at once: every train, every passenger, every maintenance tunnel. More than that, she could feel the flow of people like blood through veins, could sense their needs, their destinations, their quiet prayers for safe passage. A teenager near the doors was crying, trying to hide her tears behind her phone. Without thinking, Maya touched the girl's shoulder. "The R train at 14th Street. She found herself saying. "Platform B. There's someone there who's been looking for you." The girl stared at her in shock. "How did Yumi Mom said she'd wait there if I ever? But that was years ago." "She's there now. Trust me." Maya watched through the window as the girl rushed off the train, then stood frozen as the doors closed. She'd known, with absolute certainty, that the woman waiting on the platform was the girl's estranged mother. She'd felt their connection like a golden thread stretching through the tunnels. Her phone buzzed. A text from her supervisor. "Where are you? Client meeting in 20. But Maya couldn't move. The train carried her deeper into Brooklyn, past her normal stops, past logic and reason. She was being called somewhere, and resistance felt impossible. The train emptied at Atlantic Terminal, but Maya stayed, seated until a transit police officer approached. "End of the line, miss." She looked up at him. Officer Martinez, according to his badge, and saw exhaustion in his eyes. Worry lines from years of dealing with the city's chaos. "Your daughter," she heard herself say. "She's going to call tonight, about college. Say yes." Martinez stepped back, his hand moving instinctively toward his radio. "Lady, I don't know what kind of scam. New. Pre-med. She's been afraid to ask because of the money, but there's a scholarship she doesn't know about yet. The letter comes Thursday." She walked past his stunned silence, following instincts that weren't entirely her own. Down one level, then another. Through service corridors marked "Authorized personnel only." She should have been stopped, questioned, arrested. Instead, maintenance workers nodded respectfully as she passed, as if she belonged there. The tunnels grew older as she descended. Modern concrete gave way to original brick, then to even older stonework that predated the subway by decades. The sound of trains faded, replaced by the gentle rushing of water. Emergency lighting cast dancing shadows on walls covered in symbols. She somehow understood: spirals representing underground rivers, waves carved by hands that remembered when Manhattan was truly the island of many waters. The chamber opened before her, like a cathedral. Ancient springs fed a circular pool in the center, the water so clear it seemed to glow with its own light. Subway maps covered the walls, but these were different, showing not just train lines, but the spiritual geography of the city, marking every place where hope moved through darkness, where strangers became family, where 8 million people performed daily miracles of coexistence. And rising from the pool's center, as if she'd been waiting all along, was Namaka. She wasn't the Hawaiian sea goddess of textbooks, nor the abstract deity of Maya's dreams. She was something older and more local. The spirit of flowing water who had adapted to concrete and steel, who had found worship in metro cards and rushed prayers for missed connections. Her form shifted like liquid, sometimes appearing as a Puerto Rican grandmother, sometimes as a young Senegalese woman, sometimes as Maya herself. "You understand now," Namaka said, her voice carrying the rhythm of trains on tracks. "Every city needs its guardian. Every network of souls needs a guide." Maya knelt by the pool's edge. "But I'm nobody. I analyze data. You've always analyzed the flow of people, their patterns, their needs. You just never realized it was prayer." Namaka's form solidified, becoming a middle-aged Latina woman in a transit worker's uniform. The city changes its gods the way it changes its neighborhoods. I was once the spirit of natural springs. Now I am the goddess of the subway, the keeper of safe passage, the one who ensures that 8 million prayers for connection are answered every day. And you want me to help. The city grows, the system expands, and I cannot be everywhere at once. I need someone who understands both the old ways and the new. Someone who sees the sacred in the mundane. Namaka smiled. Someone who's never missed a train. Maya thought of the crying teenager, of Officer Martinez, of the countless small moments when the right train arrived at exactly the right time. What would I have to do? What you've always done. Navigate, guide, help people find their way. But now you'll do it with full knowledge of your purpose. Namaka extended her hand. The city's heart beats in these tunnels. Its soul flows through these connections. Will you help me tend it? Maya took the offered hand and felt power flow through her. No, the dramatic lightning of mythology, but something more subtle and more profound. The awareness of every person in the system, every need, every journey that was really a pilgrimage. She saw the network as Namaka saw it. A living thing. A circulatory system for hope. There's one more thing, Namaka said as Maya stood. You can still have your old life. Go to work. Pay your rent. Pretend this is all a strange dream. But you'll know the truth that every route you calculate, every efficiency you find, every person you help navigate this maze is an act of worship. Maya nodded, understanding flooding through her. She had always been serving something larger than corporate profits. Every optimized delivery route meant families getting their meals faster. Every improved transit algorithm meant people spending more time with loved ones and less time lost underground. I accept, she said, and the words echoed through chambers that stretched far beyond what any city planner had ever mapped. The return journey passed in a blur of purpose. Maya found herself back on the platform at Brooklyn Bridge City Hall, where Eddie was still working, still smiling that knowing smile. Welcome to the family, he said simply. Her phone showed 17 missed calls from work, but Maya wasn't worried. She would return to her job, but everything had changed. Tonight, she would build a new algorithm not for corporate efficiency, but for something much more important. A system that would guide lost souls toward connection, that would ensure every journey through the darkness ended in light. As she boarded the next train, Maya felt the city's pulse in her bones, heard its prayers in the screech of brakes and rumble of wheels. 8 million people moving through the veins of a living city, guided by a goddess who wore a maintenance worker's coveralls and spoke in the language of arrival announcements. The train pulled into the tunnel, carrying her back toward the surface world. But Maya knew she would never truly leave the depths again. She was part of the system now, part of the flowing, breathing network that kept the city's heart beating. And somewhere in the tunnels below, Namaka smiled and returned to her eternal work of guiding people safely home.